Unfreeze your feelings. A journey from emotional numbness to vibrant joy. Have you ever woken up one morning to discover that the spark that once drove you to chase your dreams had fizzled out? The passions that once burned within you are now reduced to a mere flicker, unable to pierce through the numbness that's slowly taken over your life. It's as if you've become a ghost observing the world from behind a glass wall, unable to connect with the vibrant colors that once brought you joy. Maybe you've found yourself struggling to remember the last time you laughed without restraint, feeling a genuine sense of excitement and purpose. It's not that anything specific is wrong. Your life doesn't appear to be falling apart. It's just that somehow, everything has become flat. You're not alone in this feeling. Many of us have been there at some point or another, staring blankly at a wall that seems to stretch on forever. A daunting reminder that there must be more to life than the monotonous routine we've created. It's as if we've lost ourselves somewhere along the way, and the more we try to find our way back, the more elusive it seems. Perhaps you've tried to shake off this feeling by diving into distractions, social media, late-night binges, or overindulging in an attempt to drown out the emptiness inside. But instead of silencing the whispers of discontent, these temporary escapes only serve to further reinforce the conviction that there's no way out. It's high time we confront the elephant in the room. We're not living the life we truly desire. The question becomes, what's holding us back? Is it the constraints of societal expectations? Fear of uncertainty? The relentless pursuit of validation through external measures of success? Whatever the reason, it's essential to acknowledge that this feeling of numbness is not an intrinsic part of our being. It's a sign that something needs attention, that a part of us is crying out for reassessment. This is where our journey begins, escaping the suffocating grip of emotional numbness and rediscovering the realms of life's vibrant colors. Together, we'll navigate the complex labyrinth of our own minds, confronting the deep-rooted fears and insecurities that plague us and uncovering the hidden potential within. You sway to the rhythm of life, but the music that once filled your heart is now but a faint hum in the distance. It's as if the harmony that once bound you to the world has frayed, leaving only a loose thread of connection to the things that once brought you joy. Remember the sunset nights spent laughing with loved ones, the taste of home-cooked meals that warmed your belly and your soul, or the exhilaration of trying something new and overcoming a challenge. Those moments, those sparks, those memories, they were once the fire that fueled your passions, illuminating the path ahead. But now, it's like walking through a fog, where every step is uncertain, and the contours of your surroundings blur into an amorphous mass. The world, once a vibrant tapestry, is reduced to a dull canvas of mediocrity. Even the things that used to bring you joy feel stale, like a dish left out too long, its flavors having dissipated into nothingness. The weight of responsibilities, the relentless pressure to perform, to produce, to be on all the time, has chipped away at your resilience. The sting of disappointment, that lingering echo of a dream unfulfilled, has numbed your mind, making it difficult to respond to life's beauty. The fatigue, the sheer exhaustion of existing, has drained your vitality, leaving you feeling like a shadow of your former self. It's a peculiar thing, this numbness. A protective mechanism, perhaps, but one that's swiftly suffocating your life force. You're caught in a loop of monotony, where the lines between reality and fantasy blur, and the only thing that seems certain is that you're stuck. In this haze of disconnection, it's easy to forget the last time you truly smiled, the last time you felt your heart sing with joy. The music in your life has fallen silent, and you're left with only a faint memory of what it was like to be alive, to be you. You remember when every day felt like an adventure, and the world was full of surprises? When the sound of raindrops on the roof was music to your ears, and the smell of freshly cut grass was the fragrance of joy. Those moments were woven into the fabric of your childhood, a time when the boundaries between reality and fantasy blurred. The world was a place where imagination knew no limits, and possibility was as infinite as the stars in the night sky. As you grew older, however, the world began to change. The lines became clearer, and the boundaries sturdier. The rules of reality tightened their hold, and the room for dreams began to shrink. The world that was once a grand tapestry of wonder and magic started to fray at the edges. The colors dulled, and the music of life began to fade into the background. You remember the sound of laughter, the feel of sunlight on your skin, and the taste of freedom? But as the years went by, the world became a more serious place. The air thickened with the weight of expectations, and the fire of curiosity was slowly quenched by the need to conform. The clock started ticking, and the pressure to perform began to build. Perhaps you were told that this was the way life was meant to be, driven, busy, and goal-oriented. Perhaps you internalized this narrative, letting it shape your experiences and dictate your sense of purpose. But deep down, a spark within you remains. A spark that flickers with the memory of a world untamed, a world full of enchantment and awe. What happened to that sense of wonder? Where did it go, and why did it fade? Was it lost in the whirlwind of responsibilities, or did it simply move underground, waiting for the right moment to be rediscovered? The truth is, the world did change, but it's also possible that we lost our way, becoming more focused on the goal than the journey. You are not alone in feeling this way. The world is full of people who feel like they've lost their connection to the magic of life. They're searching for a way to recapture that sense of curiosity, to rekindle the flame of creativity, and to rediscover their sense of purpose. Perhaps it's time to revisit the childhood dreams you once cherished, to reconnect with the things that brought you joy, and to allow yourself to be present in the world around you once again. You wake up each morning, mechanically going through the motions, as if driven by a subconscious checklist. The alarm clock screams in your ear, but you remain lost in a sea of uncertainty. The dreams that once fueled your passions have been reduced to a faint, flickering flame. It's as if the fire that once danced in your belly has slowly dwindled, leaving only a faint smolder. You remember the last time you felt truly alive, the rush of excitement, the exhilaration of pursuing a new goal, the thrill of creation. But those moments seem like a distant memory now, a nostalgic haze that refuses to materialize in the present. Each day blends together, a generic routine that lacks purpose or meaning. Your relationships suffer too. Conversations become stilted, a monotonous exchange of pleasantries that fail to truly connect. You feel like a ghost hovering on the periphery of your friends' lives, unable to fully participate in their joys or share in their struggles. The fear of emotional vulnerability, combined with the crushing weight of numbing feelings, has relegated you to a life of observational spectatorship. Your creative spark has dimmed, leaving a hollow, uninspired sense that echoes through every waking moment. What once brought you joy seems hollow and trite, a shallow imitation of what once captivated you. The world outside appears dull, the colors muted, the music a listless drone that fails to elicit an emotional response. As you watch life unfold around you, you're trapped in a perpetual state of limbo. You long to break free from this self-imposed prison, to rediscover the passion and drive that once propelled you toward your dreams. But fear holds you back, fear of failure, of rejection, of emotional hurt. It's as if the world is waiting for you to take that first step, to shatter the fragile glass shield that separates you from true connection, from raw emotion, and from a life that truly, deeply means something. You've hit all the milestones, or so it seems. A promising career, loving partnerships, and a life filled with the finer things. But as you stand back to admire your accomplishments, a nagging sense of emptiness lingers, refusing to be ignored. What's missing, and why can't you shake this feeling of disconnection? Imagine being a passenger on a luxurious train, speeding through the countryside, with a stylish cabin and waiters serving champagne. You should be happy, content, but as you gaze out the window, all you see is a blur of trees and buildings. You're aware of being on a journey, but the scenery outside your window is a monotone haze. You're going through the motions, checking boxes on your list, but the thrill of the ride has lost its magic. It's easy to convince yourself that fulfillment is just around the corner, that achieving X, Y, or Z will somehow fill the void. But the longer you chase external validation, the more elusive it becomes. You start to wonder if this elusive sense of satisfaction is even worth hunting down. Consider the classic tale of the lotus eaters syndrome. In Homer's Odyssey, the lotuses are seductive creatures that tempt sailors onto the island, where they indulge in their lush and inviting society, forgetting entirely about their returning home. Are you, too, sipping on an endless supply of lotus blossoms, content in your comfortable but unfulfilling existence? Every person's definition of fulfillment is unique, and what brings joy to one may not be the same for another. Carl Jung, a leading figure in the field of depth psychology, believed that the purpose of life is to find your unique path and live in alignment with your own values and passions. Think about it this way. What do you stand for? What do you crave? What makes you come alive? Don't let others dictate your path for you. When was the last time you genuinely felt fully present in your daily life, where every moment felt infused with a deep sense of purpose? What happened? Imagine being able to step into any situation, feeling calm and centered, without being held back by the weight of emotions. This isn't about numbness, it's about freedom. It's about recognizing that your emotions are not your identity, but rather a series of experiences that ebb and flow like the tides. Ancient philosophies like Stoicism, Taoism, and Buddhism may seem at odds with this idea of detachment, especially when you consider that they're often associated with individuals who possess an unsettling level of emotional composure. However, this is a misconception rooted in ignorance. These ancient philosophies were never about suppressing emotions or erasing the very fabric of who we are as humans. Instead, they sought to offer a means to liberate the self from the constraints of the ego. When you think about it, the concept of detachment is far from a cold, calculating principle. It's more like an art form, a delicate dance between embracing life's experiences and maintaining an emotional equilibrium. This balance allows you to weather life's storms and find shelter in the calm within. It's about cultivating a mindful awareness of your emotions without getting lost in their undertow. The most transformative paradox of detachment lies in its balance. It allows you to protect your inner world from the chaos that surrounds you, while also honoring the emotionality of life. You're not building a fortress around yourself. You're creating a protective shield that deflects the negative impact of life's curveballs. Think about it. When faced with overwhelming circumstances, most of us try to armor up. We create barriers to shield ourselves from getting hurt. But this approach only creates a separation, rather than connection. By embracing detachment as a shield, you still allow your emotions to breathe, to feel the warmth of the sun, the rush of a sunset, and the security of loved ones by your side. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about modulating your response. What if I told you that the greatest fear holding you back is not the uncertainty of change, but the fear of release? It's as if you're fixating on the image of letting go, but you're not considering the clarity, the sense of freedom, and the pure joy that awaits on the other side. When you submit to the illusion that you must hold on to everything, you find yourself in a never-ending cycle of suffering and entanglement. You become trapped in the weight of memories that can haunt you if you let them. This isn't the mark of a true warrior, but the confines of an imagined reality. Detachment has been shrouded in mystery, perceived as a negative label reserved for those who lack emotional depth. But as you now see, detachment is merely a means to unlock the source within you, an engine to catalyze growth, clarity, and peace. The more we allow ourselves to explore detachment, the more we come to realize it's not about losing anything, but about releasing our grip on certainty. We stop trying to grasp everything: emotions, possessions, relationships, and life itself. And in the letting go, we discover untold strength, resilience, and the promise of a brighter future. Detachment isn't about negating life's emotions or feelings. It's about choosing a new way to interact with them. It's choosing a response instead of a reaction. And in doing so, you liberate yourself from life's waves and swim within their depths, where the true purpose of detachment awaits: freedom. You've probably experienced moments where emotions felt like a tidal wave crashing against the shores of your mind, threatening to drown you in a frenzy of feelings. On the other end of the spectrum, there have likely been times when emotions felt as dull as a rainy day, devoid of the vibrancy and colors that make life worth living. That's where the concept of finding balance comes into play. It's the delicate dance between embracing your emotions without getting lost in them and staying disconnected enough to maintain a sense of control. Imagine adjusting the volume on your emotional radio. Not so loud that it disrupts your daily routine, but not so quiet that you feel numb and lifeless. I recall a friend sharing a story about their grandmother, who was known for her unwavering optimism in the face of adversity. during a particularly difficult period in their lives. My friend's grandmother would often say, "Don't let your emotions become the conductor. Let emotions be the choir." She meant that sometimes emotions can dictate our actions and thoughts, but it's up to us to be the leaders of our own emotional orchestras. Think of it this way. When emotions are too loud, they can become the drivers of our actions. We act on impulse, often without considering the consequences. On the other hand, when emotions are too quiet, we may feel disconnected from the world around us. We're like a ghost floating through life, unseen and unheard. It's about striking a balance where emotions become the subtle but sweet melodies that guide us through life. This is where we can find the freedom to be ourselves, to feel deeply, and to love without reservation. It's not about eliminating emotions or the pain they bring, but about learning to navigate them in a way that allows us to grow and thrive. As you strive to find this balance, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. It's okay to waver, to stumble, and to adapt along the way. The key is to be patient with yourself, to practice self-compassion, and to trust that you're capable of finding that sweet spot between overwhelming emotions and emotional numbness. In this space, you'll discover a sense of clarity that allows you to tackle challenges head-on, to form meaningful connections with others, and to find joy in the simple things. It's a place where emotions become the symphony that fills your heart and soul, where life becomes a beautiful tapestry of experiences, and where you emerge as the master conductor of your own emotional journey. You're stuck in a rut, feeling numb and disconnected from life. It's a subtle but pervasive feeling that can be hard to shake. You go through the motions, but somehow, everything seems dull and uninteresting. The spark that once drove you is now just a flicker of what it used to be. But the good news is that you don't have to live like this forever. It starts with small changes, tiny shifts in your perspective and behavior. Sometimes, all it takes is a little nudge to break free from the numbness and rediscover the joy in life. Breaking the cycle, maybe it's taking a different route to work. Instead of the same old routine, try turning left at the light or walking in the park. Get some fresh air, clear your head, and maybe even discover a new favorite coffee shop. It sounds simple, but trust us, it's not just about the coffee. Or perhaps you need to try a new hobby. Something that sparks excitement, like painting, dancing, or playing an instrument. Not just any hobby, but one that makes you feel in the zone. Time disappears when you're in the flow, and that's exactly what you need. A chance to redefine what matters. Uncovering old passions, maybe there's an old passion you've forgotten. A love that never truly fades, but gets pushed aside by daily responsibilities and to-do lists. It's time to dust off those old dreams and revive the flame. Revisit the interests that made you feel alive, even if they seem silly now. Rediscovering old passions or trying something new can unlock doors to feeling again. It's like a key turning in the correct lock, and suddenly, you can see a way out of the numbness. You matter. Your passions, desires, and interests do too. Time to nurture them, not suppress them. Taking that first step, it's easy to get stuck in analysis paralysis, thinking about what could be, what might be, or what should be. But here's the thing, action is the best catalyst for transformation. Start with small steps. Experiment with your new route, hobby, or passion. See what happens, and gradually build upon that momentum. Remember, breaking free from numbness is not about grand gestures, but about subtle, consistent change. It's about rediscovering the person you used to be, but perhaps even better. And in the end, it's not about how big the change is, but rather about the journey itself, the growth, the learning, and the excitement that comes with unearthing what truly makes you you. Imagine your mind as a garden. Right now, it might feel a bit winter-like, dormant quiet. The branches of curiosity are bare, and the flowers of enthusiasm are few and far between. But with the right care and attention, spring always returns. It's a season of renewal, of vibrant colors and intoxicating scents. Just like the natural world, our minds can fall dormant when they're neglected. But the beauty of life is that we have the power to nurture and coax it back to life. As we cultivate our minds, we must remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. It's not about putting in the effort and then expecting a specific outcome. It's about embracing the process, and allowing ourselves to be fully present in each moment. When we do this, we begin to notice the beauty that surrounds us. The way the sunlight filters through the leaves, the sound of birds singing in the trees, the smell of freshly cut grass. But how do we break free from the numbness that holds us back and rediscover the joy that's been missing? It starts with allowing ourselves to feel again, to allow the emotions to flow and the creativity to bloom. It means taking time to nurture our passions, to pursue new interests and hobbies, and to explore the world around us. It means giving ourselves permission to say yes to new experiences and no to the ones that drain our energy. When we make this choice, we begin to cultivate a sense of wonder that's been missing from our lives. We start to see the world with fresh eyes, to appreciate the beauty in the everyday moments, and to feel a sense of awe at the mysteries of the universe. And as we do this, we begin to rediscover the joy that's been hiding beneath the surface all along. We start to feel alive again, connected to the world around us and to the beating of our own heart. This journey isn't easy. There will be days when the numbness feels more comfortable than the vulnerability of feeling. But remember, every flower must break through the soil to bloom. Your capacity for joy hasn't disappeared. It's just waiting to be rediscovered. As you begin to peel away the layers of emotional numbness, you may feel a sense of disorientation. The world around you may seem familiar, yet strange. It's as if you've been living in a dream, and you're slowly starting to wake up. This can be a daunting experience, but it's also an opportunity to rediscover who you are and what brings you joy. The journey to rediscovering joy is not a linear process. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns. Some days you may feel like you're making progress, while others may leave you feeling stuck. But don't give up. Every small step forward is a victory, no matter how small it may seem. You are not alone in this journey. There are people and experiences waiting to help you break free from emotional numbness and rediscover joy. It may be a friend who listens to you without judgment, a family member who offers a comforting word, or a therapist who helps you work through your feelings. Whoever it is, they are a valuable resource in your journey to healing and rediscovery. As you continue on this path, remember that it's okay to cry, to laugh, and to feel all the emotions in between. It's okay to make mistakes and to learn from them. It's okay to not have all the answers, because the truth is nobody does. What's most important is that you're taking small steps towards breaking free from emotional numbness and rediscovering joy. As Albert Camus once wrote, "In the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer." This summer, this core of strength and resilience, exists within you too. It's the part of you that knows how to dance in the rain, laugh at the absurd, and find beauty in the ordinary. But life can get in the way, and before we know it, we find ourselves numb, disconnected from the things that bring us joy. We go through the motions, feeling like we're just existing rather than truly living. It's an empty, hollow feeling that's hard to shake. The good news is that you have the power to break free from this emotional numbness and rediscover the beauty and joy in life. It starts with acknowledging that you're feeling this way and being willing to take small steps towards change. You can't force it, but you can create space for the things that bring you happiness. Take a walk outside, even if it's just around the block. Listen to music that makes you feel alive. Try something new, whether it's a new recipe, a new hobby, or a new sport. The key is to take small risks and see what happens. As you begin to make these small changes, you'll start to notice subtle shifts in your mood and perspective. You might find yourself smiling more, laughing more, and feeling more connected to the people and things in your life. It's like a light switch has been flipped, and suddenly the world feels brighter and more vibrant. It's not always easy, and there are times when the old numbness will creep back in. But the more you practice taking care of yourself and making time for the things that bring you joy, the easier it becomes. You'll start to see that the summer within you was always there, waiting to be tapped into. And when the winter of life returns, and it will, remember that the summer is still within you. It's a flame that burns bright, even in the darkest of times. So hold on to it, nurture it, and let it guide you through the tough moments. With time and practice, you'll find that the summer within you is no longer just a spark, but a roaring fire that illuminates every aspect of your life. You have within you everything needed to create a life that feels vibrant and real. The numbness you feel isn't your final destination. It's just a chapter in your story. By nurturing your inner world, embracing new experiences, and allowing yourself to feel deeply again, you can transform your reality into something beautiful and meaningful. Think back to a time when life felt truly alive for you. What were you doing? Who were you with? What did you see, hear, and feel? Try to recall the sensations in your body, the emotions in your heart, and the thoughts in your mind. Don't worry if it feels a little fuzzy at first. With a little practice, you can tap back into those memories and let them inspire you once again. Remember, the journey back to joy isn't about erasing the past or denying your experiences. It's about choosing to open your heart again, one small moment at a time. Your capacity for wonder never truly disappeared. It was just waiting for you to remember it was there. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Was it during a spontaneous adventure? Maybe it was sitting around a campfire, watching a beautiful sunset, or laughing with loved ones. Whatever it was, try to recapture that feeling and allow it to nourish your soul. You don't have to wait for the perfect circumstances to start your journey back to joy. You can begin right now, in this moment, with whatever resources you have available. Take a deep breath, look around you, and find 3 things to appreciate. Maybe it's the sound of birds singing, the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the kindness of a stranger. As you look around and find these moments of beauty, allow yourself to feel something. Don't try to suppress your emotions or push them away. Instead, acknowledge them and let them wash over you. You can do this by repeating a simple phrase to yourself, such as "I am here," and "I am feeling this." So, what will you do today to begin your journey back to feeling alive? Will you take a walk outside, have a heart-to-heart with a loved one, or try something new? Whatever it is, remember that you have the power to choose your path and create a life that feels vibrant, real, and full of joy.